Good morning, students. Today we would discuss about the poetic devices of the poem Dust of Snow. The poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost has multiple figures of speech. The first one is metaphor. Metaphor is a device that asserts that one object is another, bringing new meaning to the original subject for a fresh understanding. Metaphor is used when the poet compares the falling snowflakes from hemlock tree to dust. Second, alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which a series of words, usually two or more neighboring words, have the same first consonant sound. However, sometimes repetition of sounds occur inside a word. For example, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. In this poem, Dust of Snow, alliteration is used in the lines has given my heart and saved some part, as same consonants are used repeatedly in those lines. Third, synecdoche. Synecdoche is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase that refers to a part of something is substituted to and stand in for the whole or vice versa. For example, the phrase all hands on deck is a demand for all of the crew to help, yet the word hands, just a part of the crew, stands in for the whole crew. In this poem, synecdoche is used where the poet said his heart undergone a change in mood, which actually represents his entire personality. Next, assonance. Assonance takes place when two or more words close to one another repeat the same vowel sound but starts with different consonant sounds. Example, men sell the wedding bells. In the poem Dust of Snow, assonance is used to show repetition of vowels in several lines of this poem for the sake of rhyme. Next, symbolism. Symbolism means to imbue objects which are certain with a certain meaning that is different from their own original meaning or function. In the poem Dust of Snow, the poet has used dust, crow, and hemlock tree to tell the readers that what would have happened to him if he has to encounter these things. These three words symbolizes trouble, doom, and disappointment. Now, the next slide talks about the irony in the poem. Irony means when there is an unexpected ending or when there is a twist in the sequence of the events. In this case, the poem is very ironical in nature because crow and hemlock tree, which in general are used to depict a bad omen, but here has behaved as a catalyst to uplift the mood of the poet. It highly reflects the fact that it is not right to symbolize anything as good or bad. As everything glitters is not gold, similarly, all that looks bad doesn't mean that they are actually bad. A crow has a bad look, a cracked voice, thus nobody likes to hear them. However, quail, who has a very sweet voice, just because it looks similar to that of the crow, often leaves its egg in the crow's nest and shrugs off its responsibility. In the poem, also we observe that the crow and the hemlock tree, both considered as harbingers of bad omen, actually helped in bringing about a positive change in the mood of the poet. Now, in the third slide, we will discuss about how to approach value-based questions. The first question, why does the poet say that he had saved some part of the day I had rued? We observe that as the poem begins, the author is found in a bad mood for a reason not mentioned in the poem. He had already wasted a part of his day because it is very obvious that when someone is not in the right frame of mind, neither do they feel good about themselves nor do they like to do any work. They feel depressed and low. However, the presence of the snow, the crow, the tree, and the act of coming in touch with them helped in the paradigm shift in the poet's mood. The poet who was initially unhappy for some reason, became happy and felt relaxed after the event. With a shift in his mood, the rest of the day looked brighter than what it seemed before. With an improvement in his life state, he thus felt that the rest of the day was saved, as now he could put it into use much more fruitfully, and also at the same time would not waste the day in lamenting. It's a true fact of life that a moment when gone is gone forever. Thus, it's important that we spend each and every moment cheerfully, spreading happiness all around. Question 2. Positive attitude in life can make the world a better place to live in. Do you agree or disagree with reference to the poem, Dust of Snow? The attitude of a person is of paramount importance, which helps in shaping his life, career, and his character. A positive attitude always helps an individual to sail through all kinds of situations, teaches an individual to learn and adapt to new things in life with the changing times. However, the opposite would be the case for an individual who has a negative approach to life. They would feel depressed, would grumble for each and everything that they see in their surroundings. Philosopher Daisaku Ikeda has rightly said, let's imagine, for example, that it starts to snow. If you react negatively, thinking about how cold and slippery it is outside, then you will have a terrible day. But if instead you think to yourself, what a rare chance it is to see such beautiful snow. I'll show the kids how to build a snowman and create a wonderful memory with them. Then from that very moment, it'll be a joy for everyone. With respect to the poem, also we can see that the author was able to make a shift in his mood with the help of the elements of nature, which otherwise are considered as bad omens. This he was able to do so because he had a positive mindset. If he would have been a person with a negative mindset, then he would not have been able to uplift his spirit, make himself feel better, and save the rest of part of the day for himself. Third question. Our attitude towards the situation evokes both positive and negative responses. Analyze this with reference to the poem Dust of Snow to bring out the inherent valuable lessons. The answer to the above question is very similar to the one discussed in the previous questions in slide number 3. It's just that you need to articulate it as per the question in different language. Although they apparently look similar, I would still request you to do it as a separate answer, as these are different kinds of questions that one often encounters in boards. Next. The poet has succeeded in giving valuable information in a light-hearted manner. What creates the desired effect highlight its importance in present life. As far as creating the desired effect is concerned, it is well evident from the explanation of the poem and the other relevant explanations given while discussing the questions. As far as its relevance in your day-to-day life is concerned, you need to relate it to your life, giving examples as to how a positive attitude can impact one's life and how a negative attitude can impact. Yes, the next question. There are times when we feel depressed and hopeless. We think that things will never change. Suddenly a change comes in a mood when cheerfulness replaces the sense of regret. Justify the above statement in the context of the poem Dust of Snow. Here, you first need to elaborate on the given statement. Do you really think that at times when you feel depressed and hopeless, a sudden change in the mood takes place due to someone or some event or some incident? If yes, then what is it and how impactful has it been in bringing about that change in your mood? Then justify the statement with reference to the poem. Next question. Poets have great power of imagination. Robert Frost also explains his imagination very well and proves that sometimes the bad symbols change into a boon. Discuss. It's a fact that the poets do have great creativity as far as their imagination is concerned. They are masters of creativity who give words to their thoughts, which themselves are born from the seeds of emotions. Here, the poem Dust of Snow is no exception. Poet Robert Frost has indeed used his creativity to break the norm of considering bad symbols as signs of bad omen. Rather, he has been successful in upholding the thought that bad symbols are not synonymous to occurrence of bad incidents. Rather, they too have the capacity to stimulate positivity amongst individuals if and only if human beings have a positive frame of mind. It is just our superstitions that makes something a bad symbol or a good symbol. However, as the poem proves that bad symbols do have the capacity to have a positive impact on us. Similarly, we often find a lot of incidences in and around us which reverberates with the same idea. You can then discuss one or few incidences from your day-to-day life. Next question. Our mental condition depends on our surroundings and it can be changed according to it. Explain and prove. I think after all these explanations, I am pretty sure that you will be able to handle the above question.